Hi, welcome to the GIF channel. In today's episode I am repurposing the two ashtrays of the 626 by placing USB ports inside of them. Now my USB ports are a little bit different since I have USB hubs behind the speedo, and those USB hubs get connected to here, to the phone, for which I have another video for that. And I would like those USBs, those 4 USBs which I'm going to add, to be data USBs. So the main goal is not to be able to charge phones fast, but to have data. Most of you probably are more interested in charging, so procedure and idea is the same, and 3D models which are at the back, these are the ones we are going with. I'm just going to explain what I tried before reaching to there. So everything is the same. Just make sure, if you're only going to add charging, to use thicker wires or shorter cables. You can move the charger closer to the USBs, and that would be much better and efficient. Okay, now how did I start all of this? Well, as you can see, I actually started by using aluminum. It looks much better since I brushed it, and it looks sick, but it has major disadvantages on both of them. The first one you can see here is that it's easy to break because it's really fragile. It's really tiny here at the end, and it's really easy to break. As you can see, I actually had multiple, not only 2. These are what I have currently, because this project is like a few years old now, and this was impossible to make. Even if you make it properly, when you start pressing the USB in, it just breaks. Now here there was no such problem, but here there's another problem. When you place in the USB, see that limit here. First you need to actually cut the whole metal part which you see, and then the problem becomes this metal thingy here. That actually hits the 2 USBs. As you can see, they will collide when you place them. So I did start to, as you can see, remove material to make it thinner, but that's just crap. And also this pin on the side where you need it not to be able to turn, I couldn't make it work because of the way this was mounting. So you place this one in, and then from the bottom you place this, and I had to make those grooves on the sides, on the 2 sides. Yes, those grooves. This is where those metal pins actually go in. This was holding it fairly steady, but it could turn, which was no good. So all of those problems, not being able to close good, here breaking, I just scrapped the project, and then I bought a 3D printer. And since I actually got already screwed these, I ordered new ones. So as you can see, I have quite a lot of cables now. And with the 3D printer I designed those 2 models, and I also 3D printed those USB. These are actually not made by me. I just scaled them down. I will leave, of course, to everything links in the description, but these are USB where you can simply glue it here so it shows it's an USB. This one is black, but if you get it from a Premacy or 323, these you can get them in silver color, so this will actually match, stand out. Of course, this is a little bit bigger, as you probably notice. It actually sticks out a little bit, but if I don't tell you, you wouldn't notice. So how does this work now? This is recessed, as you can see. This actually goes lower, and it's flush it doesn't stick out. So when this thing goes on top of them, it doesn't collide. And there is the groove on the side here, which is used for these not to turn. So everything works out. Now the two holes are for mounting here. Sorry, they are not on. They're not really symmetrical. Come on, focus, stupid camera. They're not really symmetrical because that's originally how I drilled the holes here, and I don't want to screw another ashtray, even though I have the original one. I don't want to screw it. Keep in mind, these are really easy to break. As you can see, there is glue here because, as you can probably see, I already broke this one, so I had to glue it. This is really easy to break. Be careful with that. So that's with the front. The back one, it's again tiny here, but it's much easier to place this without breaking it. Now, when you place it, you're still going to have to remove some material, as you can see I did here. And probably here I'll need to do the same, because it sticks out a little bit. We'll see. The way it mounts, I plan here to have a screw, but this is not going to hold the whole thing. That's why I am also planning to use double-sided tape here, 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 and here, and shove it in, and that's it. Now, cabling, there is another modification that has to be done to both of these in order to make the cables go out. So let me turn on the torch for this one. Here at the back you can see that I actually removed material so the cables can go out, otherwise they cannot. So you're also going to have to remove material, or you can just drill holes or whatever, so they can go out. Now when this is fully closed, there's no space. Probably here this one is going to help. Where the camera is not helping at all. This silver one that it sticks out, it's going to help, because it also means it doesn't go towards the end. For the back one, just a hole on the side where cables are going to go out, and then here there are, let me show you, there are grooves on the side, on both sides, where cables will go out. And as for repairability, it's actually good, these cables, they are long currently. It's actually going to be a good idea to cut them here and make a USB female and male couple, so you can easily disassemble. When you pull this one out, you pull out the USBs, disassemble them, disconnect them, and this is free to go. This is going to be good to be done. Okay, enough of me talking, let's start. Okay, so the plan. I grab the power from here, I grab the signal from here, and I shove them here, and that black thing right here, that's my USB hub, which is glued. The plan is not to cut the cable and use those male to female connectors that I have, because connectors are a weak point. I would prefer not to have it. And I figured, if I am removing the USB ports from here, why would I remove only them? I would actually need to remove them when I'm removing the whole thing. And if I'm removing the whole thing, I can simply just reach here and unplug. Same goes with this one here. So that's the plan. I won't use any cutting. I'll use maybe I'll shorten the cables here, because they will be too long. We'll see. But let me show you what problem I have. I already scratched these because these are in the way. When you start pulling, they actually scratch on the metal, and when you start pushing from that side, they actually are in the way to close the ashtray. And as you can see, that's with the cut version, because this is the original. So original, I have cut the whole thing. Let me try another angle. I've cut the whole thing and still not enough. So I'll have to find cables which do not have this, because this is no. And maybe then I can even use a guide here, just half a hole, drill half a hole here and half a hole here, so the cable it's guided. Currently, if I drill and press the cable, I will still have issues with that. So for now I continue with these, since I do not have proper ones, but I'll order and I'll just swap these. This is easy to swap, at least. Okay, let's continue. Okay, backside, that's the hole I did. And interestingly, currently there is no screw here, and even if there isn't, I'm still unable to remove this. It pops out, but then it comes back down, and this is without gluing. So I'll actually try without gluing anything, see if it works and how it works. Okay, so let's see how it goes from the bottom. It goes out of here. This is the only possibility. The other one is a spring holding the ashtray. Then goes like that. Then I plan here to make a little hole and use a zip tie. But unfortunately, a meter is short. I need 1.5 meters at least. Not at least, 1.20 meters actually would be good. Unfortunately, I do not have time to wait. I need to release the video. So I'll just use some short extensions, and when the actual cables come, then I'll replace them. So I'll have to order 4 more cables, longer ones without any ferrite core or whatever, it's the other big thingy. Okay, let's assemble. Okay, everything is assembled. Cables are accessible from down here. These are all cables, not all of them. I have other cables coming here, but these thick ones, black ones, these are actually the USB hub. I can unplug them from here when I want to disassemble either this column or remove this one, which is to disassemble that part here. So I'm happy with that, how it came out. I'm not happy with these USB ports. They are almost useless. I'm going to demonstrate in a bit, but these do not have power for charging to them. Very little power that does nothing. Only data seems to be working properly. And these have little power for charging. Let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. So when you open this one, if I grab the USB flash drive, let me show notifications. Come on, focus. Okay. When I plug this one in, you can see unsupported USB flash drive. This is because this is a Linux file system. And I unplug and there's nothing. I plug to the other one and unsupported USB drive. Now this one to close, you need to press in and then push, because this one pops out. If you want, you can glue from the 2 sides, that will solve the issue, but I'm not a fan of gluing, so this is good enough for me. Now here, this does not close properly, and you can see it already turned because it does not sit properly, because in order to sit properly you have to cut it. But I did not cut it because I'm going to replace those with ones which have longer cable, as I showed you. So this is left like that, and as a consequence of that, I did not also glue the legs at the bottom, which did not seem a problem at the beginning, but it's actually a problem because when you're pulling out, let me just show you that this one is working. Here we go, this is the unsupported drive. When you're actually pulling out the USB, the whole thing bends. You can actually see the whole thing bending, and that's not good. If I glue it, it should be way stable. And then I cut this one so it sits properly and it does not also go out. It will be much better. This one is defective, I believe. It's very hard to push it in, but it's in. And there we go. So data seems to be working for a tiny little flash drive that requires almost no power. Let me show you my soldering iron. I'm first going to show you here, since here at least it's showing something, even though I'm not happy with it. Plug in, then let me see how I'm going to hold it. Don't worry, it's not going to automatically turn on the heating. So this is it, and now it says here 5 volts, and this is the temperature that we are going to reach, not on 5 volts, but now when I press to heat up, these 300C will actually start showing power consumption. And you can see power consumption is 4.2 watts. That's ridiculously low, but at least it's there. Now if we do the same at the back, the story is totally different and not in a good way. So hopefully it's not hot. So you can now see I plug it in and nothing, absolutely nothing. If I now press to heat up, I actually go into programming mode, since there is data lines here, but that's it. It does not have power to actually do anything else. So let me turn back on the lights. So I'm actually thinking maybe it's a good idea to make one port be connected to the data lines, and one which is for charging, make it separate color, a different color. That would solve that issue, and it is also going to support quick charge, let's say. While the other possibility is to use thicker wires for both, to make a custom cable, make it myself, and that would solve also the issue. I'm going to get probably around 10 watts on these, each of these, which is decent, but no quick charge since it's only 5 volts. Same goes here. I'm going to see, but that's a specific problem to me. You get the idea. One of the other good things is if you have more power, let's say one of the ports, as I said, it's an external charger, that would be able to supply way more power, and let's say you can make a backlit. So in the night, this one is more visible. Currently, I don't have the luxury of power. So, everything I discussed is actually for me to solve, but you get the idea, you get the models. I might do tweaks to the models. I'll keep you posted in the description, of course. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe. I'll be posting more videos soon. Bye bye.